welcome to the MyMoto YouTube channel. 2 years ago we went down to AGV UK to have a look at a pallet full of extremely limited edition Valentino Rossi and even a couple of other helmets, so some Anonis and other things. But these were all limited runs and they were numbered anything from 1,500 in production to 3,000, 3,500. But the ones that AGV UK had were number 1s and number 46s. So obviously these are extremely sought after by collectors. And that was our task. Do a video, find the right people for these helmets, and then sell them off to the collectors. Now, out of all of those helmets that sold, they went all around the world. We had 2 go to Dubai and all sorts of places. But there was a guy called Gareth who kept coming back and buying more and more. So with this latest purchase that Gareth made, we thought it'd be worth taking a trip, deliver them in person, and have a look at Gareth's amazing collection of Valentino Rossi memorabilia. Okay, so I'm here with Gareth now, and this is his awesome Valentino Rossi helmet collection. In fact, it goes beyond Rossi's helmets. There's other bits as well, isn't there?
Yeah, so it's taken a long time to get this collection together, about 10 years or so from starting. So I think I am nearly done with getting every single one of his crash helmets.
Is there any gaps? Is there anything that you're like, I really need to get that and then I'm done?
I suppose really the gaps are only from where the crash helmets that were designed that were not produced for customers, where they were under copyright or ownership of the design. Those are the ones I'd absolutely love to get hold of, but again, they were never produced, so it's unable to sort of get them. But no, I think I've got near enough every single crash helmet I wanted to get, even up to date with the last football one that they've released in the new Pista model. So no, it's I'm quite sort of fulfilled now. It's everything has sort of come together. For me. Like most people that know me with my collection, it was starting the collection of, you know, getting just the models, getting every single one that I could in order of the date, the year, the race, and then it was getting the newer model, the ones without scratches, and then it was getting the lower numbers. So over the last 10 years, sort of the collection has been ongoing. It's not sort of just getting one crash helmet and leaving that.
Yeah.
I've been updating the crash helmets for a better condition one.
Or a lower number.
Or a lower number,
yeah.
And something along those lines, yeah.
Yeah. So which was the start point? Where was the start with the Ross? I know you've got a few Arai helmets you've collected.
Yeah, so the starting point was the first crash helmet that I actually ever bought of Rossi's would have been this one here, so the 2008 Continents. It was the design that got me. It was a friend that had the actual crash helmet, so I bought it second hand off of him. And from that design, I was into Moto GP anyway, and I was into motorbikes, and it sort of came alive of the actual design, and then seeing what else that Rossi was wearing at the time. And then when you looked at, you know, crash helmets for sale that Rossi had obviously, the Rossi crash helmets for sale, there was a vast variety of what was available. So I started collecting the lower K series models, the basic models that you get, buying a few of them as cheap as I possibly could, from £20 to £50, getting a load of them and then updating them for, say, like the Titec models, and then buying, you know, a Titec in a certain design that I could find again at a cheaper price. And it was always literally from there onwards, it was trying to better get every single design and buy one crash helmet, then buy a couple of the same crash helmet if they were going for the same price, sell them on to make the money to buy then whatever goes next, and so on and so on, and then working it from there. But it did start near enough like it is here, where I was buying Titecs first, and trying to get as many of them as I possibly can, and then it came into the GP Techs, and then the Corsas, and obviously the last is the Pista.
Pista, yeah.
But yeah, it's an addiction. It is an addiction, but a good one, in all fairness. You know, an expensive addiction, but it's nice to, with your help, have some amazing crash helmets with some such low numbers, or the iconic 46.
Yeah.
You know, that was the total pinnacle, I guess, of the collection, was to have either number 1s or number 46s of those models. Yeah, and I think we've got there to this date, and it's only a recent thing that's happened where I've managed to get the collection complete.
Yeah. I think for us, the thing was, especially getting those helmets and doing a video on them, was trying to find the right person who would be interested in having them, who's going to appreciate them for what they are. And this is exactly what this is. It's an appreciation of those limited edition Rossi replicas. And it's like a display of artwork rather than a safety item now. It is literally a documentation of Rossi's career, all the work that Drudi did with each design, and how personal each one was as well, with the stories behind them. And
that was the key thing as well, is the stories. You know, I mean, we go to the Wish You Were Here from, you know, Marco Simitelli, and you've got other ones, and you know, the zoo, or the chicken, or with, you know, the faces of all of the mechanic and his friends and families. It's amazing when you actually dive into the info on the actual crash helmet, how much there is. People go, yeah, it's a donkey. That's, you know, no one really knows, you know, unless you look into it, the meaning behind the actual designs. And it's a story within itself.
Yeah,
really, when you look at the crash helmets, and that's what I like. I just think that it is artwork. I mean, when my friends come in and, you know, and they see it, it is, it's colourful. That's what I like about it. You know, everyone is different to a point, with different stories, different colours and different styles.
Which was the one which was either the hardest to get or the most unique in whether Rossi might have signed it, or it was just hard to get hold of? Which is the one where you're like, that's prized because of it?
I suppose the one that took the longest to get hold of would have been the Boxer 2012. I managed to find one in Germany, probably about, I don't know, must be 6 years ago now, and I struggled. That was probably the hardest one that I was looking forward to try and get hold of. And then, like we were saying earlier, another one came along that was actually signed with proof. So then you upgrade, you sell that one on, and you know, you go from there. But yeah, that took, I'd say, 4 to 5 years to get hold of one of them. The chicken is probably one of my favourite, top probably 6 crash helmets out of all the designs I like, number 6 out of all of them. And again, that took me 4 years to try and locate that one. But then it's like buses. As soon as I located it, another one comes along, and another one come along. My top 3 crash helmets of all time would be the double face one.
Yeah.
So Rossi on the front, and then obviously the rise on the, you know, I love it. I absolutely think it's an amazing crash helmet. The chrome one, now there's a story behind the chrome one. It's such a fantastic helmet. I saw this in Chichester, not far from me, and there was a guy, he must have literally just bought it because there was a helmet shop around the corner, and I was in my car at the time, and he pulled up next to me, and I just looked at him, and it just glared in the sun, and I was like, that is the best crash helmet I've ever seen. And again, I absolutely love it. I managed to find one quite quickly, but it was very, very expensive. When they came out, they were sort of £1,000, £1,200. They were quite expensive. And then talking to another gentleman in London, he had a signed one with proof. So I managed to pick up an actual signed Valentino Rossi crash helmet in the chrome. So my number 2 out of all of his crash helmets. And then going to number 1 would be probably most people's, which would be the Wish You Were Here. It's just such an iconic design. Probably I would say one of his most popular crash helmets within the Rossi fan club. Everyone wants to try and get hold of those. And I just love it. It's if I ever see one for sale, I always buy it. Maybe it's greed, but I absolutely love that crash helmet. But yeah, I mean, they're my top 3. But every crash helmet has been hard to find in pristine condition, unless I found one that's brand new, obviously where you guys have helped out. But they have come from all over the world, and I mean all over the world. America, Japan, Australia, Malaysia, Thailand, you know, South Africa. It's amazing by just, for me it was the hunt of trying to find the crash helmets. Anywhere in the world, and then speaking to those people, and then getting that crash helmet over here, and that's how, you know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have the collection that I have now, you know.
And that community, because
Yeah.
I think we found you through the Rossi fan page.
Yeah.
It was the first time I'd seen your name pop up anywhere.
Right.
And it was actually pictures of helmets on
Okay.
this exact table.
Yeah.
But I suppose that community, you're not alone with this. There's a lot of people out there who are collecting, maybe not to have a collection of this level.
Some are close, and yeah, you're exactly right. And it's nice to have like-minded people, you know, with the passion that I've got. And I also help them try and find crash helmets that they can't get hold of. With the contacts that I've made over the years, you know, I can send a text out to a couple of people, I'm looking for this crash helmet, and you know, if they find it, then I'm able to help people. And I think that's what keeps it going for me, is it's finding the crash helmet, but passing it on to people that are unable to, but at an affordable price at the same time. There's a lot of people that are wanting silly money out there, and that's not how I work. So yeah, it's there's a lot of reasons why I have the collection, and there's a lot of reasons why I still keep the collection going, because it is the Rossi family. It's you know, helping where I can, and people helping me to get what I've got.
And I suppose if you see a helmet come up that's clean at a decent price, do you buy that in case someone in the group and goes, oh, and you just say, oh, just so happens to have one actually, you know?
And that is exactly it. Yeah, and a lot of my friends know that. I do have a sort of a storeroom of some spare crash helmets. So yeah, if I see one at a decent price that's absolutely, you know, great condition, I'll buy it to either upgrade my collection or obviously to pass on to somebody else if it's not needed my end. But yeah, it is good. I enjoy it. It's a passion of mine. And as you can see, I mean, we've got photos around, we've got chain link pictures of Rossi up there. Another one was, again, going back to the Rossi fan club. One of the gentlemen there asked me to send him a photo of the crash helmets, and managed to take it to Barnhurst in Australia and got Rossi to sign it, which is that picture there. So, you know, that's something that you won't get ever again. That's just, you know, personal to me, that Rossi's actually seen that collection,
your collection,
and signed it, and we've got a video that goes. So yeah, it's good. It's, you know, and that's what does it for me, really, to be honest.
There's some amazing helmets.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. You know, there's a lot of favourites, but
have you ever worn them?
No. So it's really bad. I know a lot of people have been moaning. I've never tried any of these crash helmets on. I wear a different manufacturer of crash helmets for when I ride my motorbikes. But
go on.
Yeah, it's obviously Arrow crash helmets. I absolutely love them. Yeah, they're my favourite crash helmets. Don't get me wrong. I've tried on, majority. I say I've never tried one on. I've tried a few AGV crash helmets, but the ones on these walls, I've literally pulled them out of the box, put them up on show.
The collection. That's what they're there for.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly it. Yeah.
So these are a range of sizes anyway. You get what you can get.
And that's exactly it. Going back to the conversations we've had previous, and what I've spoken to with other people, is for me, it didn't matter what size it was, what condition it was, get it on the wall and then upgrade it as time goes on. But for me, yes, we've got extra large crash helmets to medium to extra small. So yeah, it doesn't matter to me what size they are. It was getting all of that collection that I possibly could. Everything that was produced for the public is what is on the wall. There's not any missing, which is, I'm really pleased about. But yeah, it's and then as you can see, it's getting anything that's signed. I mean, I'm not a fanatic about getting things signed, but if something comes up, that is signed, it's great. And it goes back to having low numbers. Majority of these now are, number 1s or number 46s or 2s or 3s. So yeah, it's good.
It's incredible. It is incredible.
Thank you. Yeah.
And from, obviously, with my background of painting helmets, it's the amount of work that I know went into each one.
Understand.
The discussions. Joe, I like how some of them, they're about where he was with his career.
Yeah.
So with like the shark or the chicken, it's little things which are play to where he was in a championship
Yeah,
or where
yeah.
who was after him at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah, which would have been the Shark, wouldn't it, with Lorenzo?
Yeah.
Or the Boxer when
Or
he
the
was getting
boxing,
beaten
yeah.
up, wasn't he, when he was at Ducati? So yeah, you're exactly right, exactly right. And that's, you know, that's what we're saying about the background of the story and what the helmets are. But it's yeah, I think my favourite model of crash helmet, the one that I absolutely love, would be the Titec. I like that rounded crash helmet. I like the chrome vents on them. It's just a nice looking crash helmet. I like the Corsas and Pistas, but for me, it's the Titec that I think, because it's early days, the designs were better. Not better, I mean, they're amazing now, but
They were bold, weren't they? You got a little less fussy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right. And I just like that shape of crash helmet. I think the actual design that's on that crash helmet is great. The flowers would be my number 4 crash helmet. I think that's an amazing design, bright and colourful. And yeah, and then you go to obviously from 1998 all the way round to obviously the last one, which was the recent one, the football that came out, which would have been a 2008, but in a 24 Pista crash helmet.
And this is Joe 125 2-stroke 500s.
500s, yeah, exactly
going
right.
right through the generations of GP bikes.
Yeah, and that's it. And you've got that story as well. And to have everything in order from the beginning, from 96 where I've started, and it goes in row, in date of what race and track it was, what year, so you can see the transformation over the years of how things have changed and how the designs have changed, but also how the crash helmets have changed.
So the reason I'm here is because we're dropping off a few more.
Yes.
A few more for your collection.
Yeah, as you can see, there's a couple of boxes over there which you guys have happily brought down from me, and I appreciate that. I mean, and it goes a long way that you've travelled half a day to get down to drop some off. But the other way you look at it is it will be the end of not an era with the crash helmets, but they are the last of the 46s or the number one, limited numbers that you had,
that we had,
that are now going to go on the wall and be with the rest of them, And I was having a count up earlier, and we're probably on about 25 crash helmets that you guys have helped me, in putting on the wall, that are absolutely, amazing with low numbers. So, I appreciate
glad we
that.
could help the collection in some way.
Yeah.
And we had to, obviously, with all the ones you bought off us over since we got them, we had to come down and see this collection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm thankful for that, and it's good to get you down and to obviously do a little video so other people can see the collection. I mean, I don't brag. I don't really show too many people. It's not so much of
it's almost like a personal thing.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
For you, isn't it?
Yeah. That is exactly it. I come in here and it's just my place where I can just have a look around and just relax, really, I suppose.
And appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's next after this. I guess when they bring some more models out, I'll have to make some more room and put them on there from everyone else to see. But yeah, it's nice. I'm really pleased with where I am at the moment.
Mega. Well, thanks for letting me have a look.
No
and
worries.
Bring them down and.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming down and sorting it out for me. And I hope anyone that's watching this will appreciate it and as much as I do.
Yeah. And anyone who's interested in Rossi replica helmets, what was the Facebook group?
Oh, I think it's Valentino Rossi Collections. Yeah, fan page.
So especially if you've got something that you think might be rare, it's worth putting it on there.
Yeah.
There's collectors out there who are interested.
Yeah, have a look. Or I've got a page that I do my videos, which is GHVR helmet collection. So just type that in, and then you can see obviously some of the other crash helmets I've got and the Rossi ones that I put up for sale. But yeah, always happy to help anyone else that wants to try and find crash helmets. That's what makes it all, for me. So yeah.
Cheers. Thanks.
No worries. Thank you.
All right. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I'm sure you'll agree that is an amazing collection of helmets that Gareth has got, and we really appreciate him allowing us to go down and have a look at his collection in person and interview him about it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you would like to support MyMoto, please remember we have 3 stores. We've got a store in Leeds, a store in Claycross, and a store in Manchester. All we ask is next time you pass in or next time you need some bike gear, come and see us, stop in one of the shops. If you're not able to come to one of the shops because you're not nearby, then we've got two websites, mymoto-uk.com or dstoremanchester.co.uk. Like I asked Joe, next time you need some kit, all we ask is you just come and have a look and see what we've got first. Other than that, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to see more of our content, and until next time, ride safe.